Michigan State dominates at home in an 82-59 win over UCLA, where MSU finally plays well for the first time in a little while. They did play well against Illinois. They've actually been playing very well at home, but not only did they play very well overall, Michigan State was able to truly get their kind of big four going in this game. And it truly was the first time that's really happened because obviously in the front court, it's been a little bit of a struggle for Michigan State recently. I thought that Carson Cooper and Jackson Kohler both played very well in this game. Carson Cooper, 12.7 rebounds. Jackson Kohler, 9 points, 10 rebounds. You love seeing Jackson Kohler getting a little bit more involved on the glass. He's been struggling there a little bit, and he's also been struggling putting up points as well. I did really like how Michigan State was able to be aggressive and get him the ball really, really on. I believe he had like 5 or 7 points pretty early on in the game, was able to go 1 for 3 from 3 in this one as well. I think Michigan State really needs to kind of continue to prioritize getting him the ball because when it gets into his hands, he's shown that he has the ability to put up quite a bit of points. Obviously, we'd love to see him get that double-double overall for this game, but 9 points, 10 rebounds. If you're going to get that every single night from Jackson Kohler, you're going to be pretty happy, especially when Carson Cooper was able to put up 12 points. Carson Cooper, I thought, played very, very, very well in this game. He did get hard fouled later on in the game, showed a little bit of passion, basically went up to the guy. It looked like he was really not happy, and rightfully so, right? Like, he ended up getting a flagrant one because of that. That's Jamerson. He actually ended up getting kicked out by Mick Cronin, which was something I've never seen before. And I'll absolutely talk about Mick Cronin here in a little bit because his press conference, or really kind of his media session, it wasn't really a press conference afterwards, really is a big kind of discussion point at this point. But it was a really, really good game overall from Michigan State. I thought Jeremy Fears played really well in this game, shot really well from the field, 5 for 11, 4 for 8 from 3, and that was the big storyline for Michigan State in this one. Shot 52% from 3, 14 for 27, made 14 threes in this game. I can't remember the last time Michigan State has done that. It seems like it's been a really, really long time. Kurt Tang was able to hit a couple of threes. Cohen Card, 2 for 4 from 3. Jordan Scott, 3 for 3 from 3. If this is the type of shooting Michigan State's going to get, and I don't think they're going to get it very often. I don't think they're going to get it consistently. But I don't think there's very many teams around the country that can beat this Michigan State team. This Michigan State team was able to guard. They got back to guarding extremely effectively. I obviously don't think this UCLA team is very great per se, but I think Michigan State was able to rebound, defend, run, and really that's kind of been the principle of Michigan State the last, as long as Tom Izzo has been here, and they were able to be really great defensively, rebounding as well. Had 37 rebounds compared to 27 rebounds, out-rebounded UCLA by 10, and even at that point, it didn't feel like it was even that close. Michigan State felt like they were all over the boards throughout this night. They did have 14 turnovers in this one compared to 11 from UCLA, so that's definitely something, if I'm a Michigan State fan, I absolutely want to correct. But when you're able to put up 82 points and having 14 turnovers, that's still a good margin. Now, obviously, this UCLA team offensively wasn't great in this game. Really, the only guy offensively that really, in my opinion, stood out is Tyler Bilodeau. I thought Tyler Bilodeau was really good in this game. Went 8 for 16 from the field, 22.6 rebounds. I thought he was absolutely the most efficient, most effective player that UCLA had in this game. There was a couple of times where Jackson Kohler was on him. Cam Ward was on him a lot. Cam Ward actually fouled out in this game. I don't think Tom Izzo was very happy with how Cam Ward played in this game for the most part. Did play 18 minutes, 4 points, 1 rebound. Michigan State overall, though, in that first half, absolutely dominated. Looked really good. Second half, obviously, Michigan State struggled a little bit offensively. Defensively, they were still really, really good. Like I said, Cam Ward did foul out. You were able to play Trey Fort quite a bit, 11 minutes. 3 points, 1 for 2 from 3. I think he's going to need to continue to get more and more run because I don't want to continue to talk bad about a specific player, but Denim Wojcik, you just see he doesn't feel comfortable on the floor when he's going up against Big Ten opponents. He has shown moments where he's shown comfortable throughout this year, but those are more of like the non-conference type games. He hasn't really showed comfortable. It really seemed like Michigan State was trying a little bit of a lineup without him towards the end of the game. Obviously, Michigan State was up enough where you can do that. And Jordan Scott was kind of the guy that really was the backup point guard. And I thought Jordan Scott was absolutely spectacular in this game. 11 points. That's something that's going to kind of have to keep an eye on for, though. He is a really, really big backup point guard if that's the case. But Tom Izzo even talked about it after the game in his press conference where he's like, yeah, like we tried him out. Like I don't necessarily 100% see him as of right now being the backup point guard, but he said he saw some things that he liked. And I think there's a real possibility here that it's either going to be Jordan Scott. I don't see it being Trey Ford. I think Trey Ford should obviously be in the running for it because I think he's kind of one of those guys that feels really comfortable with the ball in his hands. Now, obviously, with his defensive effort, with everything else, he's not getting a ton of run. He did get 11 minutes in this game, obviously. I thought Trey Ford's defensive effort was better at points in this game than it has been through a lot of the season. Obviously, there's still going to be defensive mishaps that he does. There's still going to be stuff that Tom Izzo's not going to like. I think we've kind of gotten to that point where it's really going to be about Jordan Scott hitting shots. And if he's get really comfortable hitting shots, this is going to be a player that won't be in East Lansing very long. I think he has the potential to be maybe a two-and-done type player. I think Jordan Scott can be that good. He's really becoming more comfortable with his shot, and that's obviously going to help Michigan State in the long run. Obviously, he's not going to go 4 for 5 from the field, 3 for 3 from 3 every single night. But if he can get comfortable, if he can hit shots outside, that really changes what this Michigan State offense has looked like. And a lot of people going into this game, Michigan State in the half-court offense has struggled, right? But guess what? Fixes half-court offense struggles when you hit shots. And Michigan State was able to hit shots in this one. Michigan State was able to get going. Michigan State was able to push the pace. That's exactly what Michigan State wants to do. And it obviously was all led by Jeremy Fears, like I said earlier. Played 33 minutes, led everyone in minutes played. Starters played over 24 minutes and beyond. It kind of seems like we're at a point where it's either a 7 or 8 man rotation, probably more of 7 at this point. Justin McCulloch did play 9 minutes, had a really nice turnaround shot that he had, 2 points. Defensively, I still think there's a ways to go for him. Obviously, the Waller twins played a little bit. Nick Sanders played a little bit towards the end of the game. But then after the game happened, obviously this was a kind of a welcome home for Xavier Booker. There was a line, a lot of players were giving him hugs. Basically, all players were giving him hugs. Xavier Booker did not play very well in this game. 25 minutes, 2 points, took 1 shot, 2 rebounds. This is just kind of the Xavier Booker experience that Michigan State fans and just kind of some fans have seen throughout his career. He has a ton of potential. He's a guy that truly you can see when he's aggressive, he can be really good. The one rebound that he had was a nice rebound back up. Like, that's something that if he continues to do a little bit more often, yeah, that's something that you can see why he has the potential, why it just kind of the growth he's had. But obviously, Xavier Booker, the reunion probably wasn't the way he wanted it to go. But at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's super surprised by that either. I think Xavier Booker does have a ton of potential. I think he can be a really good player. It's just it wasn't a great performance by him, and it wasn't a great performance by UCLA. And Mick Cronin, after the game, talked a little bit about it, and there's a viral clip going on with him basically being asked about like what he thought about the Izzo chanting Booker's name. And to put it nicely, not use any swear words at all, he's like, I don't really care. I'm the head coach of UCLA. I don't care about Michigan State students or like the Izzone or something like that. And obviously it's going kind of viral for a little bit. It obviously went viral last night. A lot of people are saying like, hey, maybe he's right. A lot of people are saying, hey, he kind of took it a little bit too far. But that's just Mick Cronin for you, right? Like that's just who he is. He's a passionate guy. He's a guy that's going to be completely honest with you, and he's been brutally honest throughout his past, throughout his whole coaching career. And in this one, Michigan State just absolutely dominated UCLA, and UCLA did not play very well. And Mick Cronin specifically said that, as well as kind of a little bit more of that viral video. But yeah, good win for Michigan State. Obviously, a good win against not a great opponent. Michigan State now needs to handle business against Ohio State later this week, and then they head on the road to Purdue, which we know Mackey has been kind of a house of horrors for Michigan State, but you have to be happy. 23-point win felt more like that than that. Felt more like a 30-point win, but at the end of the day, it was never close. It was an easy, unstressful game, and I think if you're Michigan State, especially coming off of losing 3 of the last 5, that's going to be something that you're going to be taking home with you perfectly fine. So thanks for tuning into this episode. If you like it, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. Great game from the Stars, great game from the Big Four for Michigan State. Michigan State defensively gets back to who they are, rebounding as well. Michigan State needs to continue to do that down the stretch to get hot towards March, and we'll see if they continue that on Sunday. But like I said, thanks again for tuning in, and tune in to the next episode.